Reporting from Halas Hall on behalf of Chicago football, he is Kevin Fishbain. I am Arthur Arkush, and for better or worse, we have a few more games to break down despite all the hoopla here at Halas Hall this week, Kevin. Obviously onto the Detroit Lions, and Jimmy Clausen is the big news. What do you think is going to need to occur for Jimmy Clausen to give the spark that Mark Trestman is expecting from this offense?
Well, Jimmy said it yesterday that he needs to kind of take a page from the Josh McCown book and focus on his reads and progressions and don't turn the ball over. That's going to be really key. Don't try to do too much and rely on Matt Forte, which is going to be tough against the Detroit Lions defense that is the best in the league against the run. But the best thing for Clausen to do, protect the football, let his playmakers do the work. Matt Forte, Alshon Jeffrey, Martellus Bennett, Marquise Wilson. This is a better crew of playmakers than he had in Carolina his rookie year, so he's got to take advantage of that.
It's a great point. It's easy to forget that this is such a good group of skill position players given the overall offensive struggles we've seen. And just quickly, still staying with the offensive side of the ball, do you expect a greater commitment to the run, and do you think the Bears can have any more success with Matt Forte and maybe Kadeem Carey?
Every week we say that we expect it, we don't get it. So, who knows? I think the key for them is to run the ball early. Remember, they jumped out to a 14-3 lead against Detroit in Detroit. So, and that will help is if they can score early. If they fall behind, then obviously they're going to have to abandon the run. So keeping the game close is going to be important to get Matt Forte his work.
On the defensive side of the ball, the Bears actually hung tough for a quarter, or a little more than a quarter, actually the first half in the first meeting. Then Calvin Johnson and Matt Stafford went off, had their biggest games of the season. Do you expect anything to be different this time around? Is it the defensive line that's going to have to take control of this matchup?
Well, if you took one positive from the game against New Orleans, the defensive line played well. I thought Jeremiah Ratliff and Jared Allen, Willie Young, Stephen Pye very active in the game. And that's where Detroit has some struggles with their offensive line, obviously at right tackle. They got a couple linemen back, but I still think that if the Bears want to win, they're going to have to sack Matthew Stafford 5-7 times, get a strip sack, and they're going to turnover. It's going to have to be on the defensive line. We saw that last week against New Orleans. They had the ball too long, or they were on the field too long on third down, and you just can't trust a young back seven to make some of these plays. So it's going to be on the defensive line.
As Kevin mentioned, the Lions will be starting an undrafted rookie at right tackle, and we saw some of the struggles in the secondary from this Bears unit. They're going to need that pass rush to complement them. And just on the way out, Kevin, the Lions are a hyper-focused team right now. They're trying to do something that they haven't done in 2 decades in winning the division. It's kind of been the opposite here at Soldier Field, Halas Hall, excuse me. Do you expect the Bears to be able to rally, given all the adversity they faced this week, and put up a strong fight in the home finale?
It's tough. I think one thing everyone needs to remember is a lot of young players in this team. There's a lot of guys, and a lot of the older players are clearly playing hard, and I think that they are not happy with what's gone on, and they'd love to be able to try to find a way to end the season on a positive note. And if they could get a win in a home finale over Detroit, play spoiler role, obviously that would be a big boost for them. So I'm not too concerned about the effort out there. I just think, only 2 days for Jimmy Clausen to practice with this offense going against such a good defense. This can be very tough for them to rally against the Lions team, as you said, focused on that goal of the playoff.
That's all here from Halas Hall today. Our predictions are up on the website at chicagofootball.com, and make sure to stay tuned there for the best coverage 24/7.